Right. So, good morning once again, everyone. Again, we apologize for the slight delay with the start of the event, but we're really happy to host you today for this launch event. So we have a product that we're quite happy to bring to market. It's a very exciting addition to our TeSys Deca Advanced portfolio. And we'll share with you the details of this new offer and why it's one of the key tools that we will be giving to you, our partners, this year to really ensure that we can continue to grow the business together. So my name is Kevin Agwanda. I am the offer manager for our motor management solutions here in the Gulf. And with me will be Pankaj Patel. So he is the offer deployment leader and one of the key experts who's helped us bring this product into the market. So before we step into the offer, I'm just going to take a few minutes to reflect back on what our portfolio looks like today. I share with you, the journey that we have had in providing motor management solutions so far, and some of the changes that we have had, the evolutions we've had in our offer in the last few years. That sets the context for the TeSys Deca Advanced that we will be sharing with you today. And then at the very end, we'll share with you also some of the tools and assets that will help you make the most out of this new offer. So usually when engaging with all our partners, I like to start with this slide because it gives more context to our journey with motor management solutions and shows that we're not new in this space. We've been developing solutions in the industry for motor control, motor protection for over a century now. It's been a long journey. At every point, we've developed and improved on our portfolio to ensure that as our partners, all our partners and all our customers would have products that help them meet the requirements of the current age and the ever-evolving requirements of the loads that we have in our electrical systems. So just to highlight a few of the products we've brought to market in this past century. At Schneider Electric, we started this journey back in 1924, essentially when we released the world's first bar contactor. And then we continued to innovate, and in the next few years, had also the world's first enclosed motor starter. And then a milestone that is significant as well is the introduction of the modular contactor in the 70s. So this was the first to bring a lot of flexibility to maintenance, to different functionality. And this design has actually weathered the test of time. We see a lot of products in the market that essentially are still based on this design brought to market by us in the 70s. So at the start, we were producing a lot of general products for motor management and control. And then in the years after, since the 2000s, we have introduced a lot of industry-specific products. For example, we introduced our EasyPack TVS contactors, targeting more of standard applications where customers required more of a balance between price and performance. So EasyPack TVS addition also gave more flexibility for our partners to be competitive in the market in general. And then in 2016, we had the TeSys F range, so range of contactors for more high power applications, adding onto our portfolio to essentially make it even more complete for all applications. And in the last decade or so, we have introduced within our portfolio a lot more digital products because we see the digital transformation that's going on within our industry. And so we brought in solutions with native capability to communicate, ensuring that you would have a lot more visibility on what our customers would have a lot more visibility on what was going on within the operations, specifically for motor management. And this was with our TeSys T range, our TeSys Island range. And just a few years ago in 2021, we further refreshed our core offer in the TeSys series and shared with you the new ranges of Micra, Deca, and Giga. In this whole period, we've continued to bring to market, innovative solutions, and what we are sharing with you today in Deca is essentially the next step in providing these offers in the market. So this year, we will have two offers that we'll add on to our portfolio. So Deca Advanced, what we're launching today. And then later in the year, in the second half, we also have the TeSys Deca series, which is more of a motor management solution that will be the next evolution of our TeSys T offer. So just to recap, within the past century, at Schneider Electric, we have had several fasts bringing multiple products that really added value to the industry as a whole, from the world's first bar contactor, the enclosed motor starters, modular contactor that we introduced, and then a unique product in TeSys Ultra, which is one of a kind all-in-one motor starter. We included our Everlink connection to our TeSys series, and you will see that with the new offer that we launched today as well. And then with TeSys Giga, brought to market the first contactor to have a self-diagnosis LED that gives a lot of information to aid in operation and maintenance, to aid in diagnosis and detecting faults before they occur. Essentially improving on the full life cycle of the product. So I'll take just a few more minutes before we move to a new range to give you a quick overview of where we stand with the TeSys portfolio today. There was some of the refresh that we've had in the last few years. In essence, we classify our products today within the three core functionalities that are required for conventional starters. So typical conventional starters, the functionalities that we're looking at here is the protection against short circuits, protection against overloads, and the switching and control of the motor. And so in our offers today, we broadly split this into the three categories of TeSys Power, which is a short circuit control, short circuit protection devices that we have within our portfolio from the different product ranges. TeSys Control, which is for switching, for control of the motor loads and some non-motor loads as well. And then TeSys Protect, which is more of the overload protection devices within our different ranges. And so with this, we have the TeSys offer for more critical applications where there is a need for high performance, very frequent operations. And within TeSys, we have the TeSys K, TeSys Deca, and TeSys Giga offers. And each of these provides motor protection breakers, contactors, overload relays, covering requirements from 0 amps to 800 amperes. So very wide range of applications within this, covering all segments. Then for more standard applications where cost-effective offer is required, we have Easy TeSys, which is also a complete starter solution with the TeSys Power control and protect options for short circuit, overload, and control of the motors themselves. Then we do have the TeSys Active portfolio as well. So this is part of our ranges with embedded communication, more advanced protection, used specifically for customers who are looking to digitize the operations within the installation. So this is where we have the TeSys T motor management system, and where we will introduce Terra in the second half of this year. This is also where we have the all-in-one starter in TeSys Ultra and TeSys Island as well. Within the range, we do have some other complementary offers as well. So we have elements such as switch disconnectors, so the TeSys Vario range, the TeSys GS switch disconnector fuses, modular contactors, fuse carriers, to give under the TeSys umbrella the full set of requirements for motor management and control. And we have as well the enclosed starters that have our components packaged within an enclosure for all-in-one solution for direct online starters, reversers, and so on. Now, with the evolution that we've had, with the refresh we had with our TeSys range, just like to share with you what these changes meant in terms of the existing ranges we had in terms of the ranges we had in the past, and how the name, the aesthetics, and the performance has been updated in the last few years. So in the past, our core offer essentially had these four ranges. So from TeSys K, which is more of the miniature contactors, applications where we're looking for a compact solution with limited space for these types of requirements. Then we had our standard offer of TeSys D, so the LC1D range, covering applications from 9 amps to 95 amps AC3. We had the TeSys F for more high power requirements. Right? Each of these, of course, coming with a set of overload relays and the motor protection breakers for the rating, for the respective rating of the contactors that we would have. And then again, for standard applications with more cost optimization, we had the EasyPack TVS series in the last few years. Now, with our update for the range, this is what the portfolio looks like today. So the TeSys K transitions to Micra, TeSys D to Deca, the LC1F range, at least applications from 150 to 800 amps was replaced by the Giga series. And then for EasyPack TVS, the evolution of this was the Easy TeSys range with several enhancements as well to ensure compliance to most recent standards, to improve on the ease of installation, and also improve on the aesthetics, have a more homogeneous look across the full range. So just diving into the different functions that we have. So from TeSys Power with the protection breakers, this is a very wide portfolio, right, covering multiple applications, and they come in different varieties. So for TeSys Power, which is our GV range of motor protection breakers, within the portfolio we have either magnetic only solutions, so used in 3 product configurations where you would install a separate overload for protection of the motor. We have thermal magnetic solutions that provide a more compact option, where the single device will perform both short circuit overload protection and hence allowing for use of a 2 configuration product for your motor starter. And then we also have a transformer protection option in the GV2RT. For the contactors, it's the 4 ranges we've discussed under the TeSys umbrella for high performance applications, where we have TeSys K, Deca, Giga. The TeSys F range now only exists for much high power requirements from above 1,000 amps, essentially, up to 2,600. Within the rating requirements of 100 amps to 800, this is the portion that we have our TeSys Giga range today. And then when it comes to overload relays, so for those 3 component applications, we have either the thermal overload relays or electronic overload relays essentially set up to cover the full range of contactors that we provide today. So I share with you this setting the scene for the new offer in Deca Advanced that essentially will enhance very many different elements of the portfolio that we have today. So at this point, I will move on to share with you more details on Deca Advanced, and I will pull in Pankaj, our offer deployment leader, and he'll be presenting the next section of the slides on this new offer. Pankaj, can you hear me?
Yes, Kevin, thank you so much.
Okay.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. So as you're
Please,
setting up, I'd just like to let the partners who are joining the call know that if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We will try and address them if possible during the presentation, but more likely we'll have a Q&A session at the end. We'll consolidate all of this and try and give you feedback.
thank you, Kevin. You can hear me and you can see my screen, right?
We can hear you clearly. Your screen is just coming up still, I think.
Yeah, please do let me know once you can see this.
Yes, Pankaj, if you can stop sharing your screen and share the presentation, because right now you're just sharing the session itself. Yes, thank you.
Can you see my screen now?
Let's just give it a minute. Yes, we can see it now.
Yeah,
I
thank you
can
so
see
much.
it from my end.
Yeah. So thank you, Kevin, for taking us through 100 years of TeSys and covering the entire portfolio that TeSys has got. Very quickly, I'll be taking you through TeSys Deca Advanced, the new range that we are bringing in.
Apologies,
And
Pankaj, if you can set the presentation to presentation mode.
yeah, it's in the presentation mode.
Not from our end, Pankaj.
Not from your end?
Yes, we see it in the standard mode.
Now?
Still see the same screen.
Okay, I will request you to share your screen,
Yeah,
Kevin.
sure. Let me do that right now. Let me know when it's up.
Yes, Kevin, we can see it, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Kevin.
Yes, so I will push it on. Just let me know when, and I'll move to the next slide.
Yes, sure. So we can push on to next screen. So thank you for sharing this, but I would like to repeat this once again. We have got this is Deca family, right from 9 ampere up to 150 ampere. We are well aware about this range. So this range has got 6 sizes, right from 9 ampere to 18 ampere is size 1, 25 to 38 is size 2, 40 to 65 is size 3. Then we have 80 ampere and then 95 ampere, and the 6 size is 115 to 150 ampere. So this is about TeSys Deca. And we have one more range which we used to call as TeSys Deca Green. TeSys Deca Green is nothing but advanced version of TeSys Deca wherein you get electronic coil. The existing range of TeSys Deca Green is 9 ampere up to 65 amperes in 3 different sizes. We can move on to next screen, Kevin. So TeSys Deca Green, what we used to call it as TeSys Deca Green, we are renaming this entire range now from TeSys Deca Green to TeSys Deca Advanced. So no more we will be calling this range as TeSys Deca Green. So let us call this as TeSys Deca Advanced. Part references remain same from 9 ampere up to 65 ampere. So there is no change in order reference in part references. There is no change in specifications as well. Only the name has changed from green to Deca Advanced. So 9 ampere up to 65 ampere range remains same with wideband coil having 25 volt AC/DC to 250 volt AC/DC coil. The new range what we are going to launch today is size 4, which is 115 ampere contactor and 150 ampere contactor. Now let me also tell you that while we are bringing in size 4 contactor for 115 ampere to 150 ampere, the existing TeSys Deca 115 and 150 ampere will not be available after 1.5 year. So we will be having only one range of 115 and 150 ampere contactor, and that will be TeSys Deca Advanced range. We'll deep dive into this more. Please switch on to next screen, Kevin. One more time. Yeah, so here we will be having 3 rating of contactors. 115 ampere AC3 duty, 150 ampere again AC3 duty, and we'll be having 200 ampere, which is third rating. This 200 ampere is AC1. So 3 contactor ratings, 115, 150 and 200. Let us talk about 115 ampere and 150 ampere. So as I mentioned, the existing contactors of 115 and 150 ampere were tested for AC3 duty, whereas this new range is tested for AC3E duty. When we say AC3E, these are suitable for I3 motors and I4 motors, which are more prevalent in today's time. Similarly, these contactors are rated for AC1 duty as well for 200 ampere. This is 3-pole range, and this will come into 2 type of connections. One will be Everlink connection, and the second connection will be lug connection. We'll be having 4 wideband coils for each rating, and the first range will be from 24 volt to 60 volt, which we'll be calling as BNE coil. Second, EHE coil from 48 to 130 volt. These are all AC/DC coil, universal coil. Third one will be KUE, 100 to 250 volt AC/DC. And the fourth one, LSC, which is from 200 to 500 volt AC/DC. So let me put it again. For 115 and 150 ampere, it is not from 24 to 250 volt AC/DC, but this will be from 24 volt AC/DC to 500 volt AC/DC. Similarly, for 4-pole contactor, as I mentioned, it is AC1 200 ampere, 4 poles. Again, we will be having 2 type of connections, Everlink as well as lug connections. Coil voltages remain same, 24 to 500 volt. Embedded 1NO, 1NC, which we offer from 9 ampere will remain same. And the access to control circuit will be from front. We will be going deeper into what exactly we mean by front access. We'll be seeing this in next slides. However, the nomenclature again is very, very simple. LC1D represents our contactor. D represents our TeSys Deca series. If it is only D, it is 3-pole. If it is DT, it is 4-pole. The next comes current rating. For 3-pole contactors, it is AC3E rating that we mentioned. For 115, it will be 115. For AC4, it is AC1 duty. And then we'll be having the termination. If it is A, it will be Everlink connections. And if you want to go for lug connection, you have to mention A6. So both the suffix with A as well as 6. And then the last one is for coil. Next screen, Kevin. Now we will go through some of the features of this contactor. The first one is efficient design. When we say efficient design, we have
Hello, Pankaj. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I've
Even though we have
lost you.
reduced width of contactor, we all know that overload relays has to be directly mounted under this contactor for many of the customers. And to do this, we have kept pole pitch same. So there's no change in pole pitch, meaning the existing LRD overload relays, which are suitable for LC1D 115U and 150, can be directly mounted onto new Deca Advanced contactor. Yeah, next screen. Let us talk about electronic coil, which is one of the key feature of this contactor. So with electronic coil, we are offering a wide band, and this wide band gives us many more advantages. So to give you an example, here we are referring to two coils. One is existing M7 coil, which is 220 volt AC, and the second coil, which
Hello? Hello, Pankaj? I
yeah,
think we've
Kevin.
lost you. Yeah, but please, I think we lost you for a few seconds. So if you could just pick back up from the wideband coil
Sure,
message.
Kevin. Sure, Kevin. So wideband coils gives us an advantage, a lot of advantages, and to show this, we have given representation of two different coils down the line. So you can see that there's a first coil which is M7 coil with 220 volt AC, which comes with existing Deca contactor, whereas the other coil is KUE coil, which is with new contactor. And for M7 coil, which is existing for 220 volt, we can clearly see that normal working zone is somewhere between 176 volt to 253 volt. Whereas for new contactors, the normal working zone is from 60 volt up to 275 volt. Similarly, holding zone can be seen that for existing contactor, it is 110 to 176 volt, whereas for new contactor, it will be 45 volt to 80 volt. So we can now definitely say that this contactor will work wherever, even if there is a lot of fluctuation in voltages. So at 45 volt, from 45 to 275 volt, this contactor will hold on to the contacts. And for existing contactor, if there is voltage drop, let us say somewhere in between 66 to 110 volt, you are not certain whether contactor will hold or it will drop. And when you are not certain, you see a normal cause which we call as chattering. So there will be on-off continuous operation which happens with contactor. And when there is on-off operation continuously happening with contactor, due to low voltage, it consumes electrical life. And eventually, after a few days or few months, you will see that contactor has failed. So for remote operations, wherever you see that voltages are not proper, you will still have a good holding contacts with new coil, which is KUE coil. The second advantage of having electronic coil is you get more switching cycles. So if your operation is inching operation for hoisting for cranes, you will need a lot of operations within hour. So this contactor can be operated for 3600 switching cycles in an hour. Existing contactor was capable to handle 2400 switching cycles. And let me tell you, a lot of competitors cannot even manage 1200 switching cycles. So this contactor can offer you 3600 switching cycles, not only for hoisting applications, but for welding applications, you can use this contactor. And finally, this contactor is an intelligent contactor. When I say this contactor is an intelligent contactor, it has got built-in algorithm. Yes, you hear me right. It has got built-in algorithm, which ensures that all the three phases has a balanced degradation of contact, and eventually this helps in having a longer life of power poles. We can go to next slide, Kevin. As we mentioned in earlier slides that we can have two kind of termination. We have lug termination and we have everlink termination. You are well aware by now about everlink termination. Everlink are nothing but patented terminal connection technology by Schneider Electric. This patented terminal technology named by Everlink is today available inside our TeSys Deca from 40 ampere to 65 ampere contactors. This is also available for some of the circuit breakers, which are NSXM circuit breakers. And for some of our MPCBs, we offer Everlink. But now the same patented Everlink technology, we are extending it for 115 and 150 amperes. We all know that this is designed to maintain consistent tightening pressure on power connections. So Everlink ensures that there is a consistent pressure on power connections, and this really helps in having a better cable connections. So normal cause of pole failure is cable creeping, and we all know that cable creeping happens because of temperature rise. This also happens because of vibration, and many times this is seen that cable creep may also happen because of natural relaxation of cable strands. So to overcome these three problems of temperature rise, vibration, and relaxation of cable strand, we are offering Everlink for 115 and 150 ampere contactor. So here is a simulation of TeSys Deca Advanced and TeSys Deca, both the contactors. So there's a video which is here we are trying to show that we have connected an outgoing cable to contactor, and this outgoing cable is connected with rotating equipment. So this is only to simulate vibration and pull on this cable. So when you apply pull and vibration on this cable, how does TeSys Deca behave and how does TeSys Deca Advanced behave? That is what we are trying to simulate. So when it is TeSys Deca connections, if we spin this rotating equipment, after 27 operations, you saw that the connections are snapping out. Whereas for TeSys Deca Advanced, we have tested this and even after 135 spinning, it was still intact. So this illustration is to show you that even if there are shocks, even if there are vibration, even if there is a pull on cables, or if there is temperature rise and you see that cables are getting loose because of Everlink patented technology, this will automatically put pressure on power connections and you won't find cable creeping happening in these contactors. And maintenance person does not have to take any shutdowns to tighten the cables of this contactor. This reduces a lot of work for maintenance guy. And while we are offering Everlink, this comes with full IP20 connections. We can go to next screen, Kevin. Not only Everlink, a lot of material which goes inside this contactor has been patented. So let us talk about magnets, which are very essential part to operate contactor. So magnets are again patented by Schneider Electric. When we say patented, they are made anti-rust. So we have done test of 72 hours on salt mist, and you could see that the picture what is shown in the first frame is with patented design, and even after 72 hours testing, you don't find any rust. Whereas the normal magnets will get rusted. And this is extremely useful when you have a humid environment. So if you want to place these contactors in basement, or if they are going through some coastal region, you can definitely rely on our patented technology of magnets. Similarly, as I mentioned earlier, that we have used electronics inside this contactor. So there are two electronics part. One is electronic coils, and second is electronic circuitry used for which is used for building algorithm. Now this electronic circuitry has been protected by providing covers. These covers are IP40 covers, and these covers, because of these covers, you can very well use these contactors for your steel applications, for triple M segments, even for hoisting or construction or cement industries. This cover is definitely going to help avoid all the conducive dust which is going to get settled on PCBs. And definitely we can say that you can very well use these contactors for all your triple M and hoisting applications. Next slide, Kevin. So let us talk about accessories associated with this contactor. So many accessories, you will find that they are reused from existing TeSys Deca range. So be it front mounting contact or be it side mounting contacts. So auxiliary contacts, which are LADN and LAD8N, they are from existing Deca series. So they are not something new. You can very well use existing contacts with this contactor. All the timer relays, mechanical latch block also can be used from existing range. The busbar connections are the one which are applicable for Giga series. And if you want to take control circuit from your power terminal, so the connections which were available along with TeSys Deca can be used. However, new accessories has been designed to accommodate many more applications with this contactor. So the first one is to have mechanical interlock. So the new mechanical interlock is designed, and while we are offering you mechanical interlock, we are also offering you a rail which will sit on back of these contactors. This rail will ensure that both the contactors remain intact even if there is vibration or shock. We also offer a lot of coupling bus bars. So this coupling bars can be used in between circuit breaker and contactor, or contactor and overload relay. If you want to mount overload relay separately inside your panel, these coupling bars can be used. Similarly, for reversing application or star delta application, you can use ready-made coupling bars which are available with these contactors now. For existing retrofit business, if you have existing contactor and you want to replace it with new contactor, we have retrofit base. We have retrofit base to convert one contactor to one contactor. We have retrofit base if you want to convert both the contactors for RDOL or all three contactors of star delta. So you don't have to drill them again if they are mounted on screw. You can simply use this retrofit bus and you can convert it to new contactors. As a spare, we have Everlink and lugs available with us. In fact, if you are going with lug connection and if you need to protect them with IP20, we can provide you spares for this, which will make your contactor IP20 again. We also have safety covers available if you want to use this contactor as safety contactor. Let me tell you that all the contacts, auxiliary contacts, are safety contacts, and hence you can simply change the cover and use this contactor as safety contactor. We also have spare as switching module and control module, which was not there in existing contactor. So not only control module, not only coil, but switching module also can be replaced in case if it is required you can replace switching module as well for this contactor. Next slide. We always say that sustainability is our core, and hence green packaging is applicable for these contactors. So instruction sheet is printed onto the cardboard which we provide as a box for this contactor, and QR code is already engraved on contactors. So all the documentation part, be it data sheet, be it certification, any kind of manual, you can find it on QR code which is available on contactor. Next slide, please. We have been talking about simplicity, and when it comes to simplicity, all the contacts, all the control circuit contacts are given on front axis. So you can see that the power poles are provided on back, so that while panel builder is doing wiring for this, he will be first go through the power cabling which are on backside, and while he has to do control cabling, he don't have to open his power contacts again, and hence all the control circuitry, be it coil connections, be it NO contact, NC contact, everything is on front. And we are offering two slots, one on left hand side and one on right hand side. So these two slots will help in guiding the wires, and you don't have to route these wires in between two contactors. This can be guided well through these slots, and this makes it aesthetically very well presentable. With this you can also join two contactors side by side. So without wasting any space, contactors can be mounted sidewise. Yeah, next slide. If I have to quickly summarize all the product feature, I can say that the width of this contactor has been reduced by 20%. This contactor has been ready and tested for I3 and I4 motors, and hence we call this as AC3E. This is more sustainable because it has got electronic coil, and this electronic coil is helping us to have 50% reduction in while having inrush current. Similarly, there's one more patent associated with this. So power poles are again patented for this contactor, and hence you can see that there can be 10% less power dissipation while using this contactor. As we mentioned that it is simple in installation, all the connections are has given front access and both side wiring slot for control circuit guidance. It is extremely robust as we are offering these contactors with Everlink main power terminals, and by default these Everlink contacts will come with full IP20. Wideband electronic coils are offered so that the entire range get covers right from 24 to 500 volt AC/DC, and existing contactors has got 225 references. So with this contactor, all those 225 references are getting reduced to 24 references only, and hence we are saying that 80% references are getting reduced. This can definitely withstand very high demanding environment. You can use this contactor from -40 to 70 degree. As we mentioned, we are providing PCBA cover for with IP40 so that this can be used for mining and steel application. We are having patented anti-rust to protect magnets, and this contactor can be very well used for high shock resistance level. Yeah, next slide. As a Schneider value, we always say that we value what we say, and hence with all these features we can very well say that this contactor is completely designed taking into consideration of sustainability. So 22% of CO2 reduction can happen by using these contactors. These contactors are more robust because we have been designing this contactor for using this at harsh application. These are more efficient. We saw that these are tested for i3, i4 motors and simple to use. It has been given front access plus a lot of references are getting reduced from 225 to 24. Yeah, next slide. Now, if I have to compare this simply with our existing contactor, so I can say that the size is compact. The hang-on feature, which we have not discussed, but let me tell you that one person can pick this contactor and he can mount this on his panel. So by using hang-on feature, they can do this. All the retrofitting accessories are available. This contactor can be mounted 360 degree. It can be upside down mounting as well. Very high and very strong shock and vibration withstand is possible. Anti-rust magnet is possible. Link connections we are offering. Less power dissipation. Wide band coils. Less coil consumption because of electronic coil. References are getting reduced. New busbar design which can offer IP20 solutions and new control module and switching module. So all these features are available with new Deca Advanced, which were not available with TeSys Deca. Thank you so much. I'm done, Kevin, with this. You can take it forward from here. Thank you so much once again.
All right, thank you so much, Pankaj. Thank you for the detailed overview of this new range. And I think you see a lot of the exciting features that we've introduced with this. That's why we were very happy to share this offer with you. So this is just the start of the journey. The references are created and live on the system. And we will be sharing with you some tools that will help you explore more on this offer, some tools that will help you get the list of references, some conversion tools that will allow you to quickly convert from existing Deca, especially for frame 4, so the 115 to 150, to the new Deca Advanced references. And of course, in the coming weeks, we're very open to have more in-depth one-on-one discussion with the partners. So if you would like a more dedicated session, please reach out through your account managers, and I will be happy to come and share with you more on this new offer. So before we close this event, I'd just like to highlight some of the tools and assets that we will be sharing with you as well after this launch event. So of course, we have typical catalogs, data sheets, installation instructions, several assets for this new range that's being introduced, a lot of it incorporated in our existing catalog. There'll be a lot of how-to videos, for instance, videos that show how to retrofit the existing range with this new range, and also just some how-to videos on different configurations, extra delta available, changing some of the modules within this. All these tools will be available for you to use. We'll incorporate this range as well in our digital tools on the website. So this, if you go now to a product selector for the TeSys Deca range, you will also have the wideband coil options incorporated there. And of course, the motor configurator, a very useful tool that now gives a quick solution when you put in the specific characteristics of the load that you like to control. This will be incorporated there as well. And the substitution tool that I mentioned, so quick Excel that you can use to cross-reference existing reference with the new Deca Advanced range. And yeah, so very glad for and thankful for all of you who are able to join us this well afternoon now. We really appreciate your time, and we are very excited with this offer. We believe it will be one more tool within our portfolio that will really help all of our partners deliver more value to our customers and to our end users, but it will also make your work easier in terms of the installation process, in terms of the ordering process, and with all the advanced features that are introduced here. So I'll take a pause here and just check with my team if there are any questions in the chat that we can address before we close. Bilal, Omar, did you get any questions from the chat?
No, Kevin, I think it's okay.
Okay. Then in that case, I want to say a big thank you again to all the partners for attending this session. Thank you, Pankaj, for sharing with us on this new offer, and Bilal, Omar, and the team for setting this up as well. After this, we will be sharing with you all the tools that I have mentioned, and feel free to reach out to us if you need any more clarification on this new offer. So thank you so much, everyone. All the best and have a good rest of the day and week ahead.